Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Friday. I'm Craig and this is Spirit of Vinyl. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Well, it's been a little bit since I put out a video. I missed last weekend. Thanks. Hope you guys all had a great Thanksgiving. That was last weekend. I did Thanksgiving and then I did Black Friday shopping and more shopping on Saturday and set up Christmas and set up the inside Christmas. You know how it goes, man. Just busy as hell. I didn't get time to throw out a video last weekend. So, take some time to throw one out now. Happy Friday. Cheers to everybody. Today I'm drinking something called Bear Walker. This is a ale brewed with maple syrup. It's from Jackalope Brewery in Nashville, Tennessee. I had a couple of these last weekend. Very good beer. Very tasty. A little sweet, kind of, a little bitter at the beginning, but not too bad. It's actually a really good beer, locally brewed here in Nashville. So, well, I say here in Nashville, but, I live a little bit farther away from that. All right, so since it's the 1st of December, the first weekend of December, I'm going to go over all the records I got in November, and it's a lot. So, especially when you find stuff for free. So, I got a whole bunch of stuff to show, but I won't show everything because I did find a lot of records. But the month of November began with more tubes. Sorry about that. More damn beer hit me good. More the tubes. I finished off my tubes collection. Last month I was talking about the tubes. I kind of got into the tubes. So this is Remote Control, and I also picked up the Complete Backward Principle. Both of these are really good records. I was talking about the early tube stuff, and I kind of said that they reminded me of Bowie. This later stuff is more kind of like Jay Giles kind of sound to it. A little less, not quite as experimental as their earlier stuff, which I said reminded me a lot more of Bowie, but as their career progressed or whatever, and you kind of get towards the end of their discography, it gets a little bit more of that, kind of like that late 70s, early 80s Jay Giles band. That's kind of what it sounds like. So I got the last two Tubes album. That gives me all of them, if I remember correctly. So then my kid, he went and picked up some records. So Cattle Decapitation. This one's called Medium Rarities. It's like a compilation album. It's pretty cool. Death metal. Let me pull this out so you can kind of get a look. Pretty cool colored vinyl here. Well, what I can say about Cattle Decapitation, my son's into death metal. He likes bands like Cannibal Corpse and this and Dying Fetus and things like that. So, but it was pretty good. You got to be in the mood for that death metal sound. So he picked that up, and he picked up this one here, Evanescence Fallen. This is great record. It's got Wake Me Up Inside and all that on there, Save Me or whatever it's called. Really good record. It's got a really cool, clear, smoky, brown swirl type vinyl on it. It sounds really good if you get a chance to see it in your local record store. If you like that era of sound, this is a really good record. This is by far their most popular album. Very good. Sold millions of copies. So I'm glad it's out on vinyl. I saw it there and I thought about buying it, and I passed, and my son picked it up. So him adding to the collection. Then I have a friend in California. His name is Jim. Hi, Jim, if you're watching. We've known each other since we were like 13 years old, and we've still kept in touch to this day. He's a big Kiss fan like I am. He's a really big Kiss fan. So we were talking record stuff, and he had multiple copies of Kiss Sonic Boom, which is the only studio album I did not own in the Kiss catalog. I didn't buy it trying to find this on vinyl. This is an unofficial press. It's blue. I don't know if you can really see that. Sort of a blue color. And I talked him into selling me one because he had multiple copies. So It's unofficial, but it sounds really, really good. When this first came out, it was only available at Walmart, and I had it on CD at one time. I never thought this was a really good record. I never really thought the last two, Sonic Boom or Monster, were really good albums, but actually this is a pretty good record also. Modern Day Delilah is probably the only hit on here that people might know, but this is actually a really good record, a lot better than I remember it being. And, you know, I talked him into selling it to me $50. Which is a fair price, more than fair price, honestly. You know, Kiss fans pay a lot of money for stuff, so, because he's a friend of mine, he cut me a deal. Then I was at the record store one weekend, and I picked up this. I did not know this band. This is New Shoes. It's called Told You So. I had heard of this band, and I've probably heard a song or two. And, you know, with my newfound love of 80s pop, new wave style of music, I thought I'd pick it up. I want to say, let's see, it was $6. So I bought it. And it's a little more R&B rather than like synth pop sounding, but it's actually really good. She's got a really good voice. Pretty decent album for its time. And for $6, you couldn't go wrong. That day, I also bought Tommy by The Who, which I never had, and, you know, you see this, and I don't remember what I paid for it. It wasn't a whole lot, like $12 or something like that. And, you know, a lot of people talk about this album, you know, great rock opera, great concept album, or whatever. I thought it was all right. Not one of my favorites, but it's got the cool songs on it, and I'm sure if I give it upon more listens, I will like this a lot more. I do find it interesting the way it was designed. One record has side 1 and 4 on it, and the other record has sides 2 and 3 on it. And the reason they did that was for auto changers. Back in the old days when you remember our parents had those giant spindles on the record player, and when the one would end, their other record would drop on top of that one. So you'd put it on and it'd play side 1, and then it would drop, play side 3, then you flip it over, and it'd play side, or it actually would drop, it would play side 1, it would drop, play side 2, which is on the other record, then you flip it over, it would play side 3 and side 4. So it was really interesting. I thought it was pretty cool, you know, and I'd seen the movie a long time ago or whatever, and, you know, Tommy is one of those albums that everybody's supposed to own or whatever, so when I saw it in there, I bought it, and the price wasn't bad at all. So I'll give it more listens, and maybe it'll grow on me. Okay, then I also bought Testament, Brotherhood of the Snake. Saw this in the record store too. Strictly limited edition, Nuclear Blast Records. It's on black vinyl. This is actually a fairly good repress. It sounds awesome. It's from 2022 or something like that, if I remember correctly. Hell, don't quote me on that. This is a really good later Testament album. Within the last, I don't know, 5 years probably. Great record though. I've always loved it. I streamed this a bunch of times, know all these songs, saw it in the record store. I was like, awesome. And they're starting to finally repress some Testament. A Practice What You Preach is supposed to be coming out here in a month or so. So pretty excited about that. So, all right. Then, you know, I've told the story about the dumpster and all this stuff. Like 2 weeks ago, I'm at the dump. And I'm getting ready to dump my can, and the guy next to me is one of these junk guys, you know, you can hire like 1-800-JUNK or whatever to come clean out your house, and he's dumping it. I'm always kind of look to see what's in it when they're dumping those trailers, because it's usually stuff people are getting rid of, or somebody died and it's a bunch of furniture and a bunch of stuff like that, and there were all these records there. So I'm like, oh sweet, records. So I just started picking up records, not knowing what they were, because I don't want to waste people's time. The guy's waiting to push the trash into the trailer or whatever, so I just reached down and started picking them all up. So I ended up with a lot of stuff I would never normally end up with, like this Barbra Streisand album. It's called Memories. It was in pretty good shape. It had a little bit of pops and stuff on it. But I gotta tell you, man, I did not like this at all. I do not understand people's love for Barbra Streisand. I don't get it. I did not like this record at all. But hell, it was free. I found it in the trash. Probably never play it again unless I'm in one of those moods where, you know, I'm letting Discogs pick and then it picks it. And then even then, maybe not. Also in there at the same time, soundtrack to Top Gun. It's got Danger Zone, Loverboy, Heaven in Your Eyes, Cheap Trick, Mighty Wings, Take My Breath Away by Berlin. This is a cool soundtrack. It was in really good shape too. No skips or anything on it. Not really much noise or anything else. So that was also found that day. I also found this. It's from Chrysalis Records. It's called Rock Menu Hot Platter of Chrysalis Hits. And let me see what's on here. I listened to this. This is pretty cool. It has Heart and Soul by Huey Lewis and the News. Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar. We Close Our Eyes by Go West. Dancing with Tears in My Eyes by Ultravox. Change by John Waite. Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol. Call Me from Blondie. Every Time I Think of You by The Babies. Hot Child in the City by Nick Glider. You Make Me Feel Like Dancing with Leo Sayer. Mickey by Tony Basil, and Living in the Past with Jethro Tull, which seems like a weird outlier for this record to put that Tull song on there. Kind of a cool little compilation. So that was another one that was found when I found those that day. Soundtrack to Cocktail was also in there. Starship, Thunderbirds, Beach Boys, Mellencamp, Georgia Satellites, Bobby McFerrin, so on. I have not played this yet. I don't know what it sounds like. Also, the soundtrack to The Big Chill, which I was like, ooh, sweet, The Big Chill, because I swear to God, I remember this from when I was in high school when this movie came out, and I swear you can't always get what you want from the Rolling Stones was in this movie. It was like a big deal. And that song, it always struck me, and I do remember Jeff Goldblum and that song, but it is not on this record, so I have no idea. I also haven't played it yet, so I'm not sure what this one sounds like either. And Juice Newton, this is her, it's called Juice. This is the one with Angel in the Morning on it. So I haven't played this one yet either, but I do like her voice. I have a Greatest Hits album that I've actually talked about on here before. So kind of excited to see that. And then let me show you what else. This whole stack of classical music. Gershwin, Brahms, and then there's all of these great performances like Beethoven. I got a whole bunch of them. They're all the same with different artists. Tchaikovsky, Beethoven, Brahms, so on. Apparently, CBS Records put these out. CBS, great performances with different numbers on them. So like this one's 55 and so on. This whole stack, that Beethoven was open. All of these are still sealed. Every single one of them sealed. All these were the ones I found that day when I was at work. So I got a bunch of classics. I've listened to the Beethoven one. Sounds really good. There was the one that was opened. It's in very good shape, and it was kind of cool, you know. I do like some classical music when you're in the mood for it. I have more than I'll ever play or whatever, but all those were still sealed. So I have no idea what was going on. Then this came in, ordered from Discogs, AC/DC Let There Be Rock. This finishes my AC/DC collection. So I finished my Kiss collection and my AC/DC collection in the month of November. When I say finishing my collection, that's AC/DC from the first album all the way up to Fly on the Wall. Anything after that, I don't really care for and don't listen to. So as far as I'm concerned, my AC/DC collection is complete once I got this record. And what can be said for Let There Be Rock? I mean, you know, this is a killer record. So then I'm at Walmart one day just killing time. Bam. Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. I saw this picture disc in Walmart. It was $19. And I know this is considered an emo classic. And the song The Black Parade is a great song. So I went ahead and bought it. And it's actually a really good record. That style, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of these guys. I'm not really into that, you know, emo type music, I guess you'd say, but this is a really good record. As for a picture disc, it sounded really good. There wasn't really that much background noise. You know how picture discs can kind of get that hum that happens underneath. I didn't really hear that with this. So these were at Walmart, and my Walmart had like 3 copies of this, and they were like 19 bucks a piece. So you might want to check it out if you're interested. Then it was Black Friday. So I go to the record store on Black Friday. Ours opened at 11 o'clock in the morning. I got there at 10 a.m., froze my balls off. I was only like the 6th person in line, which wasn't bad at all. And I got everything I was looking for and then some. So I'll get to what I was looking for in a minute. When I got done finding what I wanted, you walk in the door. They had their record store day stuff right by the door. They were letting like 5 people in at a time. I got in, got what I wanted, and then I wandered the rest of the store. And I found this in their recently arrived section, used Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare. This was $3. It had a sticker that said Some Noise. Well, I played this last night. I don't hear any noise. It was $3. I mean, I bought it. I don't care what it sounded like. For $3, I figured you couldn't go wrong, right? This is a great record. A lot jazzier than I expected, I guess. Besides the song Welcome to My Nightmare and, Only Women Bleed, I really didn't know any of this music at all. I've never been a huge Alice Cooper fan, but this is a really good record. I really like this. This is his solo debut album. It's all confusing when you look him up because Alice Cooper the band and then Alice Cooper the solo artist, But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got Vincent Price talking and it's in really good shape. I mean, it was only $3, there was a mark right there. The guy wrote on it. But it said Some Noise. I really didn't hear any noise. A little static in between songs, but that's about it. $3. Not bad at all. Then this, Slayer, Repentless Killology, Amber Smoke Vinyl, Nuclear Blast Records. I have not had a chance to play this yet. There's the color of it. But I saw this when I was there on Record Store Day. This was just in their regular section. This is not an exclusive or anything. And I didn't own it, so I had to buy it because it was Slayer. Overall, I spent, $200 that day. So what I went in, this is one that I went in for, Biohazard, Amada Liawa or whatever. I'm not sure how you would pronounce that. Basically translates to lion killer. Biohazard, kind of a New York hardcore band. This was a Record Store Day exclusive. And get this color to come out here. Sort of a Coke bottle kind of clear thing going on. Pretty cool record. Basically, I went in. The reason I bought this, first time in vinyl, North America, it says, and I think it was limited to certain copies. Limited 2,000 copies. So, but this was a Record Store Day exclusive. This is one of the ones that was on my list to go into. First Biohazard album I've ever bought. I saw Biohazard way back in the day, and they're kind of I guess you'd call them New York hardcore. Very cool, very good hard driving beats. I liked it a lot. And then I picked up this Helmet, Betty, 2LP, baby blue vinyl. And there's your color right there. This was the other Record Store Day exclusive. It's 3 sides, essentially. It's etched on one side. This is really cool. I bought it because it was Helmet, and I knew they were kind of a metal band or whatever, and it's sort of an alternative metal sound. And I knew some Helmet music, but this is a really good record. I really like this one a lot. I like this one a little bit better than the Biohazard album, but I really dig this record. So this was a good pickup, I think. So then I also picked up this repress. This was a Record Store Day release, exclusive limited edition, 180 gram red and white striped vinyl. Rolling Stones, get your yah-yahs out. There's the color variation on that. I have not had a chance to play this. When I get done recording, I will be listening to this tonight. So that one and one more. The main reason I stood in line for Record Store Day, Lamb of God, Ashes of the Wake, live in Richmond, Virginia. Record Store Day exclusive, recorded in 2020, and it's the Ashes of the Wake album live in Richmond from start to finish. Great record. Ashes of the Wake is a great record. These songs, pretty cool sounding live, you know. Some people aren't really fans of live music. I do like a good live album every once in a while. This one, it's mixed well. It sounds great. Pretty cool stuff. It's got some cool stuff inside of it. So, and that's everything I picked up in November. In a Record Store Day. So, what'd you guys get? I know there's lots of videos out there. People talk about Record Store Day. I have not had time to watch any videos or do anything. So, but I appreciate you guys all watching me, and I will go and start watching you guys. Hopefully get some time this weekend to catch up with all of you guys that I follow out there. So I really appreciate you all watching. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Christmas season's coming. Hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. And I'll talk to you guys all next week. I'm pretty sure next week is for sure. I'm hoping I won't be too busy. This time of year, you know how it gets. So, all right. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. Just, you never know what you're going to find. That's all I got to say, you know. Go thrifting and look in different places or whatever. You never know what you're going to find. I know I'm getting lucky sometimes with, you know, all this classical music and stuff and sealed records at the dump, you know. I mean, what are you supposed to do about that? So, but yeah, cool stuff. Listen to some Rolling Stones tonight, I guess. And that Slayer record, which I hadn't had a chance to play yet either, which is also live. And the Rolling Stones is live. And the Lamb of God was live. Lots of live stuff for Record Store Day this year. So, all right, thanks, guys. I will talk to you all later. Y'all have a good one. Cheers, all.